Wow, Terry, episode 34. Can you believe how time is flying by? We are on episode 34. We just got back from the Southern tour. I mean, it's just been, we just keep on having these great moments on our Leading California channel. And today I have a little bit of a surprise, Terry. I don't even know if I told you, but our guest from Montana, she had a bad fire and her house burned down. I felt so bad for her. But Brianna, I had told her about a month ago that I wanted to get her on a show, and she came on last minute. She's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. This sounds good." And she works for DR Horton here in Las Vegas, the number one home builder in all of Las Vegas. So Terry, say hi to Brianna.
Hey, Brianna, appreciate your last minute agreeing to meet with us, and it's great to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, this
Sure.
this is awesome. And so we want to dive right in. I know that you're working in your office and you guys this is busy time right now. And I know
Yeah.
that new home sales are not only going crazy in the Las Vegas market, but all over the country. So since we have almost 300,000 members, we'd like to educate people and talk about why are so many people picking new homes right now, Brianna?
I think the factor is that they want something that they can actually move into. It's move-in ready and it's brand new. You know, it's the first place they can create memories with their family. They can actually see their home being built from the ground up, which is an experience in itself. And honestly, the we're giving pretty good deals right now as well.
You really are. I've had two clients come down and look at your homes. I mean, the incentives are insane. I don't think the resale market can really compete with the new home builders. So let's talk a little bit about that. What are the incentives that DR Horton is offering in your subdivision? And maybe you might want to give a background of where your subdivision is in the Southern Nevada.
Hey, Brianna, let's also say that this is early June 2024. So if someone sees this in 2025, these incentives may not be there. So they need to call you to find out if they're still available. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, our incentives change all the time. Right now until the probably the end of July, we have a 5.75 interest rate for FHA and VA and a 6.25 for conventional, and they're both 30-year fixed.
mhm.
We have $5,000 that we're offering for closing costs here at my community. So I'm actually in Henderson in the Cadence area, which is a master plan. It's amazing. There are no SIDS or LIDs, so no special improvement taxes here at Cadence. And it's actually the only master plan community that doesn't have any special improvement taxes, which I think is phenomenal. And the HOA here is $55, which I think is also phenomenal. And you can take advantage of pools, parks, a lot of walking trails, recreation areas. It's pretty much Valley Vistas over here. So if you're into like the outdoorsy type of lifestyle, then Cadence is where you should purchase your new home. I'm actually at the Symmetry Bay community, which we have floor plans starting from 1715 to about 1865 square foot for a 4 bedroom with a loft. So that's where I'm at here. And that's what the incentives we're offering over here as well. So
Now, did I say that right? I thought I had read somewhere, and you would know this better than me, but
mhm.
is DR Horton the number one new home sales in our state, or are you in the top three, or where are you
We're
guys
in
at?
the top three. We are actually in the top three, yes. But we're actually been the number one in customer service, excuse me, since 2002. So we're really big on making sure that the customer has a great experience, and you know they love it, love their home, and love the people that actually help them purchase their home. So we are
Are you
number one in
are
in
you
that
trying, Brianna?
department.
Are you trying to tell me that all the agents are as friendly and as nice as you are for DR Horton? Is that
Yes, I think so.
oh, that is awesome.
We're a
And
pretty good team over here.
so my partner back there with that Leading California sign, he actually invented this concept, and this is his baby.
Mhm.
And he thought it might be kind of fun to have a group of a couple hundred people talking about leaving California. And now he's coming up on the milestone of almost 300,000 members. So, Brianna, maybe could you share why do you think so many people are leaving California and coming to our great city?
Number one thing, taxes. Number
Amen.
one. We have no state tax, which I think is awesome. I've had people tell me, as far as finances and being able to actually afford a home for their family. I actually just had someone come in here and just tell me that actually about 20 minutes ago, coming here. A lot of times people are renting in California and they're paying, $2,000 for a studio apartment, just depending on where they're living. And now, if they move to Vegas, they're able to afford something for their family. Also, inflation, and the types of wages for jobs, they haven't really been changed a lot, I guess, in California. So a lot of people have been moving here, getting job offers, and starting their life here in Vegas. Also, investments are really, really big out here. People are buying second homes, so sometimes they're keeping their homes in California, but then they also want to buy an investment home here, and they're actually making residual income. So those have been the major factors that customers and buyers that I've had from California tell me the reason why they're moving here and why they're purchasing here in Las Vegas.
And Terry, Terry's been to Las Vegas quite a few times, but I don't know that Terry's been out in Cadence. The next time you come, I want to show you this community. It is amazing. And I think I read something where Cadence is actually the #1 community in Southern Nevada. It beats all of the other communities. Is that true?
Yeah, it's because it's growing. Cadence is a fast-paced growing master plan. I think it started breaking ground with like more new construction in 2013, 14. And then it just, after the pandemic, it just started growing sporadically. We're gonna actually have 1,634 DR Horton homes in the Cadence area in itself.
Wow.
So it's growing. There's a lot of developers coming here. Other new communities, new home communities are being built here as well. And then they're also building. I think it's a power plant coming over here. Another Amazon. There's a Smith marketplace that's going to be built over here. They're going to just a lot more stores and retail shops as well. So it's growing, and it's nice, and it's a
Brianna,
lot of land over here, honestly,
can you tell us,
untouched land.
I'm sorry, can you tell us how far you are from Lake Henderson? And if somebody wanted to go down to the Strip, how far you are from the Las Vegas Strip?
So, I mean, Vegas is kind of like a big old circle, right? 215. I would say from the Strip, we probably would be about 25 to 27 minutes from the Strip.
Okay.
Airport, 20 minutes. We are in Henderson, but we're going more towards like old Henderson. And so I would say if you're thinking like the Green Valley area, we will probably be about like 10, 15 minutes away from there.
Okay. And if we can back up just a little bit, you mentioned the size, square footage of the homes.
Mhm.
Again, knowing that we're in early June of 2024, can you tell us the price ranges? And of course, I know there's upgrades and things like that. Can you just kind of touch on maybe the starting price of the homes in your
Mhm.
area?
So the great thing about DR Horton is we are a spec builder. So what you see in the home is what actually comes with the home. So we don't have any like options or upgrades. Sometimes in our larger models, like our Summit, which is our next gen, you can change the flooring, but essentially everything else is pretty much spec'd out. So our 1715 floor plan, which is a 3-bedroom with a loft, goes for 436,990. Our 1795 plan, which is a 4-bedroom, it goes for 441,990 right now. And then our 1865, which is a 4-bedroom with a loft, goes for 451,990 right now.
Those are amazing prices. That
Mhm.
is great. And you've got the fixed interest rate available
Yes,
plus $5,000 credit towards closing costs.
yes.
Wow. Are those all 2-story houses?
All 2-story, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
great, great.
Mhm.
And then by the way, I misquoted myself, Terry. I said there was 100,000 people that moved here last year. It was actually 120. So DR Horton is pretty smart. They're a very, very sharp builder. They really take care of their customers, and looks like they're trying to get ahead of the game. And So we had 120,000. We need to help these people out. Speaking of helping people out, Brianna, one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on the show today is
Mhm.
I imagine that you come across so many people that are either represented by a realtor or maybe they just come into your office. What are some of the mistakes or some of the advice that you would tell people that are looking to do a new home? What are some of the things that maybe they, if they'd have thought of, it could have made the experience better? Or what kind of advice would you give to somebody that was thinking about going and buying a brand new home?
I think that one, get pre-qualified, and also know like what your price range is. I have a lot of people come in here and they have an expectation of, what they want. But we also need to make sure like it's affordable, right? I know it's my job also to help do the footwork and the realtors as well. But sometimes I think people just have the misconception that they want a brand new house and they want this 3, 4 bedroom house, but is it really the right home? Because I would hate for someone to come into my community and they fall in love with it and it's not affordable for them. You get what I'm saying? Or they're not looking at, that this monthly payment is just not, right. So I would definitely say, talk to a lender, get pre-approved before you start going into new homes. That way you kind of know what direction that you're going to go into. The next thing is,
Wait, before, hold on one second before you go on, because I want to make sure everyone's clear on this. Um, you guys are like a full service though, right? So if they came in and they walked in and they said, well, we haven't really talked to a lender yet, I
Mhm.
believe you have people that work for DR Horton. You can connect them right on the spot and they can get that information so that they're not wasting their time and,
Mhm.
time is money. So do you connect them right away in that situation?
Absolutely. Yes, I definitely do. Especially with the incentives, a lot of times, they want to go with our lender and then we just, I'll call them or we can do it on my computer. And then that way they'll know. But most of the time though, when they do come in, they have a general idea of like where they kind of want to be. That's what I mean. Just have a general idea of like what price point you want to be with, even if you haven't spoken with the lender or haven't been pre-approved. Like I base it off this. Like when I have people that this is their first time moving into a brand new home, I'll ask them, how much is your rent?
Mhm.
If I know that their rent is $1,000 and I know that our mortgage is about $3,100, we might be slightly a little on the high side for them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
if you're paying, 2,200, okay, well, we can make that work, because
Right.
now it's $800, $900 more, but they're owning something than it being $2,000 more than what they're paying for rent.
Right.
So that's like one of my first things I kind of go over when someone comes in.
Well, and we say this week after week after week. You have to have the right realtor, you have to have the right professionals, and then they help you make the right decisions. And that's why it's so important to meet with people like you that can really help them and they don't have to waste time. And the other thing that's really cool about all of us that are associated with leaving California is the fact that if they're not ready, we can coach them, we can advise them, we can help them to have a plan to get to where they're trying to be in the next 1 to 2 years as well. So I didn't mean to cut you off on point number two, but where were you going to go next? What was the next thing you were going to say?
Just knowing like your needs and wants and what you want surrounding your home. So with DR Horton, I have the Bay collection, but there's another Bay collection in the north, there's another Bay collection in the south of Las Vegas, and then obviously in Henderson. And sometimes because buyers, they love grocery stores or they love retail shops or they want to be around a certain charter school, or they want to be around like a lot of kids or parks and things like that. So I think that's also important because yes, there's new homes and I have the same exact home in the south, but in Henderson, like I said, we're more like outdoorsy, we're naturey. In Summerlin, if they want more retail shops, they might want to be in the south, the southwest in the same collection, but just on that side of town. So I always say when you're looking for a new home, think about what your needs and wants are surrounding your home. Like what do you want to be around? So that's another thing I would say, before going to look at new communities, just see what you want. Do do you want to be around stores? Do you want to be around walking trails? Do you want to be around parks? Things like that. And then that can help you kind of gravitate and navigate to what community you should be looking at.
Well, it's so important that you ask these questions. And sometimes, since Terry and I do this every week, week after week, sometimes we forget, there's a lot of our members out there that they don't know the vocabulary, they don't know the language, they don't deal with relocations every single day of their lives. Now, you mentioned spec homes. There might be some people out there, they don't know what that means. So what is a spec home, and what is there something other than a spec home? What could you explain to our audience? What does that mean?
So a spec home means that everything has already been pre-picked and predetermined in that home. So there are no options. So let's just say someone wanted a tub instead of a shower. Well, in a spec home, it's just a shower. There's no option to change it to a tub, but you can always change it when you actually move into the home. You could do whatever you want to your home afterwards. So we predetermine what the flooring looks like, what the cabinets look like, the granite countertops. We already know what appliances are going to be in there. We already know if it's going to include blinds, ceiling fans, things like that, of that nature. So that way, when you go into our homes, you know exactly what you're going to get. Exactly.
So a spec home basically would mean that it would be a less price point than more like a custom build. And in a custom build, I imagine they could put a tub in. They could do a lot of different modifications. So by choosing a spec home, so if you hear that term spec home, that means that it's already pre-manufactured, basically, and they have all of the selections have already been chosen. Now, do they get to change colors, or can they say we want white countertops instead of black, or is there anything like that?
There are different variations. But again, we predetermine them. So for example, let's just say we have a 1715 plan. So on my 1715 plan, I did this particular lot, I did white cabinets with a darker granite countertop. And then the next home that I have, that's a 1715, I'll do gray cabinets with a lighter countertop. That way we have different variations of the home. Yeah. Even though I already spec'd it out, but that still gives the buyer an option, hey, I just really hate white cabinets. So, okay, well, we'll wait on this lot. I do have this lot coming up. You're next, you can purchase this home, if the time allows it. So
got it. And
So
Terry,
Brianna, I know that I've owned two DR Horton homes in the past. Loved both of them. Both of them I brought brand new. They were spectacular homes. Can you tell us, do these also come with a 1-year warranty where if there's any kind of issues, manufacturing, whatever, they'll repair that in the first year?
Absolutely. Yep. 1-year warranty. Well, the first year, 1-year warranty, essentially bumper to bumper. 2 years electrical, your HVAC unit and plumbing for 2 years, and then 10 years structural. So yeah, so we call it 1, 2, 10 warranty. And then on your HVAC unit, if you register it, then you get additional 5 years, and just in case. So you get the 2 years plus additional 5 years just in case something happens as well.
Do you need air conditioning in Las Vegas?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a joke. I'm kidding.
California, it's easy breezy on there. How here it's hot.
So Terry, you kind of nailed it. 436 for a 3-bedroom, 451 for a 4-bedroom with a loft. You take those same homes in San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you're doubling it, maybe even.
Oh no, you're way over $1 million. Way over $1 million in those towns. Yeah. And you got to deal with the California state tax and gas tax and income tax and all those policies that people are leaving. So no, there's so much advantage. Hey, Brianna, while I'm thinking of it, let me ask you this too. I'm sure the subject of water comes up, the availability of water, or does it come up where people say, oh my gosh, I've heard that Las Vegas is in a drought. Is there going to be enough water for us?
I had a couple people ask me that. And I just tell them, obviously Lake Mead is coming down, but I know that we've been actually cycling water from Utah, from what I was told as well. And so, I tell them, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Also with the water companies, they kind of heavily monitor us, especially like with landscaping. That's why we have desert landscaping instead of having more grass, because we want to be, conservative of the water. So there's things I think that we have in place in Nevada that helps us so that we don't run out of water.
I can take that one, Terry. Guess who the #1 water conservation state in the country is?
Rhode Island.
Do you think it's California or Las Vegas? And by the way, Californians, they take a lot of our water. They take a huge portion of our water from Lake Mead, but we are way ahead of them as far as conservation, and we are the #1 city for conservation of water. And that is definitely a concern, and I get it, but yeah, we're doing a really good job in our city. All of the water matter of fact, all the water that's used on the Strip for our hundreds of thousands of hotel rooms is actually reused, and we don't take any water from Lake Mead for that. So we do really well with it. And by the way, I know that we did this kind of podcast last minute. I wore my Raiders shirt. So let's get into Las Vegas. Let's tell some people, because once in a while we do get some negative posts. Imagine that, Terry, a negative post about anything in a Leaving California group. Isn't that crazy?
It happens. It happens.
So people, some of the negative things that they say, and maybe I can have my partner over here, Brianna, who is probably about 30 minutes away from where I'm at. I'm in Inspirata. She's talking about an amazing community called Cadence. Sometimes people say, oh my gosh, I could never live in Vegas. It's just too hot. What do you tell them?
Stay indoors.
That's quite a concept.
That's what I say.
I say the same thing in Florida. It is what it is. Do you want to live in a communist state, or do you want to live free and live indoors? And by the way, it's not that way year round, right? December is not 98 degrees.
Yes, we have good insulation. I tell them that too. See, that's another selling point with our homes.
Yeah,
your energy costs are way less. Your energy costs are way less in Nevada than they are in California. Yes. Way less.
Yes.
When you have energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our weather is similar to yours, Terry. I mean, for 6 months out of the year, we have 6 months of the best weather you could ever imagine. Another one we get a lot of is, oh my gosh, I could never live in a desert. Why would I live in a desert? What would you say to that?
Oh, I've never gotten that one.
Okay, well, it's too brown. I mean, people, but you know what? We have communities that have amazing trees, and it is really nice.
And Lake Las Vegas too, if they want to, see some greenery, they can go to Lake Las Vegas and have a, a nice outing out there and go to the beach out there. And, it's kind of like a little different world out there, if they want to change the scenery.
So we are
things with the desert though,
Brianna, we're the entertainment capital of the world. We're becoming the sports capital of the world. We're getting the Oakland A's. We're getting an NBA basketball team. We have the Raiders, which, by the way, Terry, they didn't make the Super Bowl. I know I made a prediction last year on a podcast that and you said they were going to go every year, but they didn't.
I don't think I remember saying that.
But give me a couple other things that you love. And I think that when I met you in person, Brianna, you said that you were a Las Vegas native and you went to high school here in Las Vegas. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What tell our listeners some more of the positive, great things about Las Vegas that Californians need to know.
We have a lot of shows here, a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, which are phenomenal. We have a lot of museums here now, art museums. We have a lot of interactive museums here, photo museums. We have a lot of different attractions as far as virtual rides, which I think is pretty cool. What else do we have? Honestly, with our food is actually amazing. We have a lot of different restaurants and lounges on the Strip that are catered to different, like a Hello Kitty. We have a Hello Kitty little lounge, which I think is super cute. What else do we have? On the strip. I mean, you're kind of like in little different worlds. I mean, we have the Eiffel Tower, so you feel like you're in Paris. Then we got the New York, so you feel like you're in a different city.
Yeah.
All of our hotels have a theme. You know, if you go to Caesar's Palace, you know, you feel like you're in the Roman Empire, which I think is amazing. Nightlife, you know, sometimes everything in other states, they shut stuff down at 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, we're 24-hour city, so there's always something to do. Um, what else do we have? We have, even though we don't have a lot of water, as far as like beaches and stuff like that, we do have a lot of pools and different spas and stuff that offer different amenities, which are amazing. There's a lot of things to do off the strip, a lot of different restaurants and attractions. So you don't necessarily have to be on the strip to go to a nice restaurant. If you like Italian food, you can go to Capo's. If you or Nora's. If you like Mexican food, you can go to Bonicho Michoacan. That's my favorite restaurant. You know, so there's a lot of things to do outside of the strip as well. So you know, we're not just tourists, you know, people, I guess people think like when we live here, we just stay on the strip, and that's just not what it is. There's lots of concerts here. We have reggae concerts. They have it at the government center. We do other concerts at the park, like Craig Ranch Park. They've had a couple different artists there too. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do out here off the
You,
strip.
you know, Terry, I think we might be passing you, but Orlando and Las Vegas have always been neck and neck. I mean, I know you guys have a lot of tourists, but when we have 46 million people coming here, we had 39 million last year. They're projecting that we're going to have a record-breaking 46 million people come into our city this year. And a lot of them come to visit and to check out Las Vegas, and they end up staying. They end up seeing Brianna, and they want to find out about a new home. But that is something we have to accommodate. So we have a ton of things to do and see in Las Vegas. And as promised, Terry, I know we've been trying to keep these to 30 minutes. We're coming up on 25 after the hour. To be respectful of everyone's time, is there anything else you want to ask about my city and Brianna City, Las Vegas, Nevada, the greatest place in the world to live? It's so much to do and see. What else you got, Terry? Anything?
Well, the other thing I want to point out is that for those who leave family and or miss parts of California, things like that, you're not that far of a drive to Los Angeles or Southern California. And and I hear they're considering, if they haven't already approved, building a train between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. And this one will be a public-private partnership. So this one will actually get built, unlike that train to nowhere that they're building that I don't think is ever going to leave a station in California.
No.
So anyway, yeah, there's so many positives about Las Vegas, Henderson, that whole area. And look, how many people moved there last year? 40,000 from California? Come on, they can't all be wrong.
No, they can't. They can't. How many times, Brianna, have you had somebody from California that came to you and said, "Oh my gosh, we made the biggest mistake of our lives. We've got to go back to California"?
I haven't had that happen. Not lately. Not lately.
And
That
do you
was an
have
easy
I think
answer.
the only thing that people do miss though is the water. You know, when I do talk to some of my, you know, some of my buyers that have purchased here, it's the water. You know, it's the beach vibe and life. And I tell them like you said, we're only a few hours away. You can
Yeah.
always go visit and go to the beach and then come back. You know, so I think if we, you know, we're a desert though, so we're never gonna have water. But I think that's the biggest thing, the main thing that you know that the water, because now it used to be culture. Now Vegas has a lot of culture. Like you said, now we have sports. You
Yeah.
know, when I was growing up, we did not have any sports, you know. I mean, we had baseball, but I mean it wasn't Major League Baseball or anything like that, you know, but it's nice to have those things. And it's great to see Vegas grow and expand. So it's amazing.
You know, the
So
other thing, Brianna, is that just to keep in mind, you might want to just tease people with this. You know, when the big earthquake hits California, it may fall into the ocean. Las Vegas may be waterfront at some point. So it'd be great to have a waterfront home there in Las Vegas.
Okay, I'm gonna tease people with that. I love that one.
and as we wrap up, Brianna, and remember, we're talking to our members. We're talking to all 300,000 people. Hopefully, they'll have a chance to watch this and learn more about Southern Nevada. But for someone that was on the fence, maybe they were thinking, should I leave or should I stay? What kind of advice would you give somebody that is thinking about leaving? Do you have an advice for them as we close?
Well, I mean, honestly, I would say, I mean, that is something to think about. Just make sure it's the right move as far as, do you have a job when you come to Vegas, family wise, are you okay with relocating with your kids? Like maybe they have kids, checking the schooling and making sure, they're still gonna, be able to have a good education. Is it affordable? Is it affordable to move right now? Those are the main three things, job, is it affordable, your kids, because I think that you want your kids to be happy, of course, and we got to make sure it's a good decision for the whole family, right? If you're moving to another state. But I think those are the main three things that I would talk to people about before moving.
Maybe I'm partial because we're doing Southern Nevada today, but this has gone by so fast. I can't believe that it's been 30 minutes. You have been such a pleasure. And I knew that when I first met you, I loved your energy. I know you're passionate about wanting to help people make the right decision. You're not just there to try and say, no, you need to buy this house. Because if it's not a fit, you have no problem saying, you know what? This is not the right fit, but you know what? I have some recommendations down the street. So I'm giving you a full endorsement today, and I would love for you to share your email and your phone number. So if somebody was thinking about getting a DR Horton home, who would they call? And please share that.
Okay. So again, my name is Brianna Mitchell. My telephone number is 702-418-7111. And my email is M as in Mary, Mitchell. So it's BM Mitchell at Gmail, at drhorton.com, excuse me. So BMMITCHELL at DRHORT as in Tom, ON as in Nancy.com.
And again, I'm your National Relocation Director. My name is David Berry. My phone number is 702-374-1771. My email is simple. It's LasVegas@davidberryrealtor.com. You can give either one of us a call. As a matter of fact, you could message me, Terry, Brianna. We're just here to help. And the advice we give is free. And hopefully we can help you make an educated decision and you can have a smooth process for leaving the Golden State and starting your new life. We haven't had anybody call us or message us saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe we left California. It's so bad. So, and most of the people, as Terry says, they say they wish they would have done it sooner. So thank you guys for joining our episode 34, Southern Nevada, New Homes with DR Horton. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.